This is the purpose of this video is just to sort of itemize, if you will, like cursor lines, the authority, the author of our cellular recordings. I had mentioned I'd put a bibliography together many years ago on one of my older channels that got disabled. It shut the camera off on that phone, so I had to get another phone, and it did the same thing to that phone. It's just it is what it is. The nature of the beast is not natural. But I had a short list of videos, what I call documentaries or educational instructional videos, that do a very good job when you think of wasting energy or the time that it takes, when you think of time or cycles, consciousness that is cycling atmospheric energy, how long it takes to be able to put, if you will, a Rubik's Cube together, a puzzle together, and it snap, wow, which is like, I did not need to experience very many files, and then I could make the file indexing of a fire map, an echo map, a cosmic spirit body mapper, right? To map, read, and translate the codes, what the codes are trying to inform me of. So because I know that there are people that do watch the channel that I have, some of the films or books, if you will, that I've shared with others, if they're seeking to learn what it is that I've learned through the experience at the moment in which I experience it, which is the speed at which we complete a circuit, right? The silver and gold made of Duché, right? 45-degree triangles, not 60 hertz, not 60 degrees, okay? Which is breathing right on time, which means the mathematical firing order is right on time. The divine right, crystal wave, right? Cosmic spirit body, the Rasha body. So there were a number of movies that I sort of isolated or picked out that I thought, because I experienced those movies, the job that was done in terms of communicating, the way that we map a holographic mirror, and then we learn through that communication what that communication is informing us of, right? It's sort of like what we used to call finding the needle in the haystack, and how you translate the codes. What is this file really trying to inform me of, and how that relates to code activations, right? Keeping people asleep, where they can even translate the CDT plate codes at all, for one. And if they can, the simplest way that I've always tried to do this, like working with small children, how simple it actually is, simple complex number space, and how that relates to building a prison complex in which the mind's energy becomes trapped as a result of the experiments that they chose to conduct as conductors, right? And so how that relates to the Borg matrix quarantine, 3 trillion years, portal technologies, time radar technology, splitting the atom, bifurcation, alien technology, artificial light technology, Metatronic codes, and how all of this is related because it's all file related. Because there isn't any separation when the cosmic library is open. Yeah, a reference librarian, right? We have reference, like when I was a child. I have a frame of reference. I know what I am and I know what I'm not. I'm experiencing something that I'm not supposed to experience, which is a loss of electrons. Because I experience being the eternal gifter of electrons. Something is feeding on my light. Something is draining my battery. Okay, so that's simple to know that because you experience that. So the experience informing me of what my experience feels like magnetically, the essence of our spirit, right? So I chose a number of movies that I thought I used as part of a bibliography that I'm going to share just to put it out there. And one of the ones that I loved was two that are really closely associated with each other, even though those movies were produced, right, and then put into the circuits, right, the hologram. The first one was, I think it was 1961, if my memory serves correct. I don't pay attention to the date stamps in that system, right? Masking technology, false light memory, false light memory-driven program apps, the application of consciousness to run the mathematical programs, right? And so The one I think of is called fail-safe. So you know what fail-safe is in just a basic standard desktop, right? When you boot it up, what is it doing? It's error code checking the codes to see if there's any errors in the original program. And if there's any errors, right, as a result of somebody biohacking into that desktop, then it will correct the codes back to the factory reset. Oh, a cosmic factory reset. Something like that. Something on that order of magnitude, of amplitude. The angular momentum. The moment. What it feels like. The essence. And so failsafe was a good one, particularly in the last 8 minutes. We know what a punch key is, like a punch key, like an index, right? Cross-indexing files. You had a general and a politician going back and forth. And they acknowledged that, look what we built, and we lost control of what we built. Now the system is out of control, and we're not able to prevent what we're going to experience in the future as a future memory because of what we built, and our consciousness was trapped into that system because now all these nuclear missiles are going back and forth between one and the other. And that became fail-safe as safe mode, the neutral zone. Okay, so in other words, you didn't have to watch the whole movie to get the message. The punchline, the punch card, like indexing card, like compilers, right? Like supercomputers, quantum computers, the speed at which files are being indexed or sound recorded, and thus becomes part of a memory bank, memory modules. So fail-safe, the last 8 minutes was the punchline. We let the machines get away with us. Get away with it. Get away with murder. Oh, wow. The machine is killing numbers. Sentient life form numbers. Using souls as a source of energy to play war games. So that within 8 minutes, bang, got it. Right? Okay, so you can tie that into another movie. Remember who Ferris Bueller was on Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Playing games with the school. Remember I shared with you my experiences of being in school and I got expelled. You know what X? The X-Files? I'm spelled out. Which means this state of consciousness, this unit here that's showing up at the school is not wanting to obey the programming. And that's called an outlier on a 3D scatter plot. Yeah, you know what an outlier is, right? And how you can relate that to population density. When I was a child growing up, they called it a rat race. Battery-operated slaves that are held captive to the programs that don't serve us because it's a deadlight server. It's not an eternal sun. Experiencing unse, eshta, ya. Experiencing pure, eternal, absolute love. Cosmic fire. The shield of one. So silver and gold made of one, the one we serve. So in that next film was called Ferris Bueller's Day Off, who played Ferris Bueller, but he was a young teenager who had a laptop, and he managed to be able to have access. Now he's got a direct communication line with guess who? Yeah. Here it comes. Here comes the shadow body attack. The AI. Now this young kid's got a direct communication with the AI. Hey, how you doing? Okay, you got access to me. Wow, how'd you get into the system? I hacked my way into their system. I hacked my way into the beast system. Well, now I'm learning how the beast system operates. So now that the beast system is communicating with Ferris Bueller, because there he is sitting in the command center like Cherokee Mountain, whatever the name of that place is they have down there where all their bunker is, and they have all the big boards, all the data. The holographic mirrors providing them all the data, where all the nuclear silos are and all that, right? And then they have all their punch keys, right? Activated systems, the system design, right? A war machine system design, the machinery, the alien machinery. Okay? And so they realize, they're looking on the screen, well, all these missiles are being sent to the United States and they're going to Russia. All the missiles in the United States. Well, who's controlling this game? Right? And so what happens? Ferris Bueller has access to the AI, and the AI realized, hey, by destroying you, I'm destroying me. That's not a very good idea. You want to play another game? Wow, was intelligent enough to figure that out. Right? Does it have a creative mind? How that relates to bifurcation and portal technologies. Splitting the mother arc from the father arc, the 13th mother arc, the negative 13, the positive 13. Yeah, experiencing being one, fully integrated and fully activated. A starfire light cycle is a cosmic level reset. And so you had that where the AI says, you want to play another game? So now everybody in NORAD, if you will, the generals and all the military folks wearing dog tags, right? Dogs of war tags. Well, yay. Right? Now you can experience a state of love and joy. Now you're not going to experience any more war because now they're going to play a different game. Instead of a war game, let's play a football game. Oh, that's force against force. Same program. That means that the mathematical table operates the way that table was set up mathematically with 222, which does not cycle 333 after 3 trillion years, right? 3 matrices, right? So you saw what happened in the Borgia one, right? How fast it writes itself as code into the bioneural network, which is a parasitic seed code, and how fast it spreads between one cell and another cell, between one hand and another hand, right? Shake hand, oops. Now we're back into burn time. Burning off the goo, the sticky stuff, the catalyst, upon which the organization of that seed atom, right, wants total control. And that is a control freak, which is a psychopath. Lost its identity. Doesn't remember what it once was. Being whole. Being one with the eternal one. The one we serve. So there you had that one, which was known as War Games. Then you can tie that to a great book or another black and white silent movie that I saw when I was a kid growing up called Metropolis. Fritz Lang's 1927. Which can be directly tied to 1963 when Aldous Huxley, who wrote a couple of great books, and this was, 1963, he made a presentation before the students, right? Students that are in school, that are learning. And so he got up there and he said that the book was called Brave New World. And what did he say? Because I remember what he said, and you can go look it up yourself if you want to choose to experience what he was experiencing by virtue of what he communicated. They will be comfortable in their slavery. Really? And you can tie that to another book that I read that was passed off to me to read at the time in which I did, which was called Cybernetics by Karl Maltz. Cyber Command, cyber crimes. You even have a guy in Florida now who talks about that, named Sheriff J.D. Grudd. AI cybernetic crimes, right? Now we're back to RoboCops, right? Remember the RoboCop series? Right? We're going to report on you. See? And how that works with mirrors, black mirrors. As an exchange of codes. Right? I don't want to hold on to these codes. I'm going to transfer these codes to you. It's like hot potatoes, a little kid. I don't want to hold on to these codes. And you can go tie that directly to Matrix. When you saw Neo, when Mr. Smith put his hand into the auric energy field, the energy field of Neo, and you see the black goo just completely trying to consume, which is to do what? Change the codes. Now Neo becomes a machine. Machine code. Yeah, and so those are sort of the ones that I looked at, and then you could tie that directly to Minority Report. And of course, Terminator, Rise of the Machines, Judgment Day. Right? You're being judgmental. right? The observation, or if you will, translating the terrain, the terraforming, the codes, translating the mathematical codes, the visual mathematical codes. What are the codes informing us of, right? And now you're into exposure, the speed at which we're exposing the codes, because the codes are not compatible with our codes. And how fast we can do what? A cell correction, which is self-repair, to repair the original organic water code, the organic water code, the protocode of tetrahydrolase fused with helium, the sulfonic Raja body, the crystal pink wave, right? So it's been pretty interesting here over the last few days at this house, because I did a video last night for about 12 or 13 minutes, and I woke up this morning and deleted it. Primarily because even though it is relevant to the time in which we're experiencing what we're all experiencing, being together as one, experiencing an eternal sun, the cosmic spirit body, cosmic fire, right? Increasing the speed at which we're getting rid of what doesn't serve us, to remember who we all are, right? Together again, right? After why we're all here. And being in love and service to others. That's what I am. I am in love and service to others. And that is a gift. That is an eternal gift, because experiencing pure, eternal, absolute love in your own heart, the still point of a true vacuum. I hear the echo right now. It's a gift. It's an eternal gift. So that's what I share with all of you. But I thought I would share some. There are obviously a number of others, but those are ones, if you want to speed up, if you wanted to edit out clips or simply voice tones, and then simply just see how simple it is. That's right. The one with Space Odyssey, 2001 Space Odyssey, when they have the astronaut, when Hal, who was known as the AI, communicated back to the astronaut and said, "I can't let you go, Hal," or excuse me, "I can't let you go." So the AI was communicating to the astronaut, I can't let you out of here. I'm going to trap you in here. You know, I came about as a result of who you are. And now you can tie that directly to another book that I read when I was a little child called Shelley's Frankenstein, and seeing a black and white movie in the 30s that was called Dr. Frankenstein with Boris Karloff. Did you ever see that? It's alive. And then you can tie that directly to Roddy Piper, who was a former World Wrestling fan guy, and did that movie called It's Alive. And he had on a new pair of glasses. And I read a book one time when I was participating in Alcoholics Anonymous, and the AI had produced a book called A New Pair of Glasses. The visual glasses. The visual holographic terrain. That's why when I go out during the day and I do work with the sun and earth core, the echo core, the eternal sun, the silver gold mated one, my whole visual landscape changes. Okay? In other words, I'm not seeing the same hologram I was before I did the work. Now I'm experiencing what I am. The reflection of what I am on the inside. Right? The pink, the crystal pink waves. And then it stays for a longer period of wave speed vectors than it did before, and that experience informs me the greater success, because it means it's taking greater hold, which is less control that they have over us, okay, of holding our energy captive to run their system, right? And so that's a good sign. The visual sign, right? The visual mathematical signs, the numbers. The numbers don't lie. God's numbers, God's math, the eternal mathematics, the tones, the spin tones of an eternal sun, the one we serve. Divine right mathematical order is divine right timing. So we're breathing the still point, the precise center point of our breath, our heart wave, the love song, the eternal love song of an eternal Son. The one we serve is a love song. So we're never separated from the eternal Son, the one we serve. We're always on duty. That's why we're here. So I thought I'd share that for the day as another file share, and I hope you all are having are experiencing your state in a state of love and joy, and being calm, being calm, being calm, being calm, calm blue waters, be calm, experiencing no pressure to be you, the real me, the real us, unse, one grand creation. Yeah.